What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twisted Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap and review. This is of The Handmaid's Tale. This is season 6. I am on episode 6, Surprise. Now, I know it's been a slight delay on me getting out these videos. You know, sometimes life happens, and that's the way things goes. Okay, but I am going to keep rolling them out. We are going to have them all caught up to date by the time we do our season finale watch party, which will be on May 27th. Be hosted over on my Discord channel in the Lifers Lounge. You do not need to pay for my Discord channel. That's all you need is a Discord account, which is free. You can either download the app or sign up on their website and just go directly through the website, right? You don't need to have your own platform. So if you don't have Hulu, it doesn't matter, because I will be the one that's going to be showcasing it, and you guys can join it and watch along with me. We can talk about the show as it's happening, and we can discuss it afterwards. There is a community tab that I have on this channel, as any other channel does. There has been links dropped all over the place in regards to my Discord channel. The links only last 7 days, so if you miss it, you miss out. Okay, I won't be posting the link all the time, because I'm trying to make sure I keep people that's on the Discord channel that actually wants to watch TV shows and movies along with me. Now, let's get into this episode. I know that I have chastised the character June often. I have said that she is selfish through and through. I have hated on Nick. I says that he cares about nobody but himself. Nothing that he does is for anyone else but himself in order to be with June. I don't even think he cares about his own child, for real. Okay, I don't even believe it. And y'all said I was wrong. But then this episode happened. Y'all said, no, they love each other. It's a true love. And then this episode happened. Y'all think y'all knew June. I said I did. Now, y'all know I'm only wrong 1.23456% of the time. And this wasn't one of them. We pick up right where we left off with June and Moira in the trunk of Commander Joey's car. It's dark. It's raining outside. The road is bumpy as hell. And they don't know where the heck they are going. Now, last episode I mentioned that Nick was the only commander driving himself around. Apparently, Commander Joey drives himself around too. So I'm going to correct myself again. I'm only around 1.23456% of the time. And that's part of that percentage, right? He does not have a driver or an eye that's basically following him around. But they are inside that trunk and they are panicked, child. They don't know if they could trust Commander Joey or not. They worried about the map, because you remember Janine gave them instructions on how to get back in the building. And I'm like, why they don't have the map? And then they worried about the letters that Janine had gave them from the other women, which is now locked in a room, in Janine's room, in the doggone safe. Okay, so he stops the car and he tells them he was just going to let them out in the middle of the doggone road and see what happens to them. But he needs to know, what the hell are they doing there? June is like, I ain't telling you, because all you going to do is run and go tell your buddies. Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing. He insists, June, I had nothing to do with those planes going down. And she's like, well, you could have stopped them. He's like, well, you could have stopped Eleanor. I was like, she could have stopped Eleanor, but she really could have. But I'm like, he's still mad about that. That's why he playing this tit for tat for June with June all these years, because he's still grieving about Eleanor. He tell them that the commanders are plotting to overthrow the new Bethlehem and put everyone back in the old Gilead way of life. And Moira and June is like, what you mean? What? No, that's going to happen. We can't let that happen. And June said, well, what if I tell you that next week you will be the most powerful commander in all of Boston, because they all going to be dead. And Moira's like, what the hell would you tell them that for? Why would you say that to him? June, what is wrong with you? Okay, he takes them to his house and almost gets busted by Naomi. Now, I forgot, y'all, that Commander Joey did not leave Boston. He still lives in Boston. He doesn't live in New Bethlehem. And I got a correction about New Bethlehem, too. When I get to it, I'll tell y'all about it. I was wrong on that, too. Maybe my percentage is going up a little bit higher. But anywho, okay, so anyway, after Moira's like, what the hell you tell him that for? He take him to his house. They almost get busted by Naomi. And she comes out in the basement trying to figure out what the hell is going on and why he down there, right? And June is like, Naomi? He said, yeah, she Naomi Lawrence now. She's like, when the fuck did that happen? Girl, that's neither here nor there. That's nothing that we need to worry about right now. But they need to get back to Jezebel's, is what they tell Commander Lawrence. He like, I can't do that. I am not going to be able to just come back and forth across the border in my own will when I want to. And I'm like, since when? That's what you've always done. You've always came back and forth across the border when you wanted to. I've complained about that all these seasons, okay? And in previous seasons, you have always came back and forth across this border that's 5 fucking hours away. You've always came back and forth across that damn border with no problem. Now you can't do it. But he's like, you know what? I got somebody that's on staff right now. They about to get off, so we need to go. And June is like, no, we can't leave. He's like, look, we need to go. We need to go now. So June says, give me a phone. Give me a phone. So she calls somebody on the cell phone. Not the cell phone. She calls somebody on the cell phone. And it happens to be Nick. He is at home, staring off into distance, thinking about the time that he killed Toby in the hospital, right? Lawrence, he is tasked with getting Moira alone back across the border because Nick tells June, baby, don't leave. Don't leave me. I need you to stay. She's like, what? He's like, I need to see you. She stayed. She risked her life and safety to stay just so he could see her. You know, he says he gonna go to the room for her because he got the safe codes. Why do you have the safe codes at Jezebel's? Make that make sense. He goes into the room, opens up the safe, get out the letters and stuff, and just happens to see a tooth knocked out on the floor with a blood stain. I do not remember them knocking his tooth out. I don't even recall them hitting him. He flung their asses around, but I don't recall them hitting him at all, that they knocked his fucking tooth out of his mouth. Moira hopped on his back and choked the shit out of him, and then you kicked him in the nuts. But I don't remember you knocking his tooth out, but fine. It was a tooth on the ground, so he knew something bad had happened. Okay? And as he's trying to leave out of Jezebel's, pause. Jezebel's was supposed to be locked the fuck down. There was supposed to be nobody leaving in or out. Now, we saw last week that Commander Lawrence did leave out when it was locked down. But how the fuck Nick get in when it's locked down? That was the thing that Lawrence just told June why he couldn't go back to Jezebel's, because they're on lockdown. And then he said he didn't have control of the eyes. Why does Nick still have access like he an eye when he not an eye anymore? He's a freaking commander. Something was in my hair. But he rolls his ass on up in Jezebel's as they're locked down. And there's no one around for this lockdown. The girls aren't locked in their room. They're still out frolicking with other commanders on a lockdown. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It don't. It don't make no doggone sense. But anyway, he runs into Commander Bell with Janine in the hallway. Janine recognizes him immediately. And she asked him what happened to June. She did it kind of slick though. I kind of like that. She said, you know, he used to be here with this girl. He had a regular, what was her name? May, April, June. You know what I'm saying? The months of the year. Okay, anyway, he brought her the letters. He left out of there and he brought June the letters. And she like, okay, let's go to the border. I gotta go. He said, no. Don't go nowhere, sweetheart. You good. My wife and my daddy-in-law, they not here. It's safe for you. You can stay here with me and violate my wife's house with me. We gonna be safe there. I say, y'all pathetic as fuck. Y'all are pathetic as fuck. Her life is in danger because she, one, ain't supposed to still be there. And what the fuck happened to Luke and Ellen? I know the dude was sending them away, but because they wasn't leaving, he punched Luke the fuck up. So Luke and Ellen, they just gone. I guess they headed back to the border. I guess. Right? But anyway, yeah, he tell her, you stay here with me and help me violate my wife's house. Okay, we'll be safe here. Okay, so she thinks back on when the first time that they laid together without Serena's input. Remember when she came in and she mounted him and all that shit? Right. So she's fantasizing with him in this moment about her wanting to go to Paris together, and how kind and brave and handsome Nick was. Nick has been none of these things ever. Not even handsome to me. Okay. But she forgot that Nick not only was kind, brave, and handsome to her, he's also a spy for Gilead. He's an overseer for the man and woman who oppressed her, who helped keep her fucking child in bondage. He helped keep her child in bondage. He, the man you claim loved you, is the one who loved you so much that he sat there and watched you get raped month after month without doing anything of his own volition to help you get free. She forgot that part about who he was. I didn't. I didn't. And now she here reliving the memories with him. June is a hoe. June is a hoe. First, Luke, a married man. Now Nick, a married man. She has no problem sleeping with married men and hoping that they choose her over their fucking marriages. Hell, she probably wanted Fred to choose too, for real. I ain't no telling. Then we get old crazy ass Aunt Lydia. She also stops by Jezebel's, a place that's on lockdown. She ain't even a real fucking aunt no more. She has no girls underneath her. She has no command anymore. And they let her stroll her monkey ass up in Jezebel's with some fresh baked cookies. Now she tells Janine of the she submitted to the council to get them free and to help move them into Bethlehem where they could all go work in the clinic. And Janine is like, look, I don't need your fucking help, right? Lydia's like, how ungrateful are you? Those weren't her words, those mine. But she was like, you know what the hell I gave up for you girls? For you specifically? Janine is like, bye girl, bye. I'm right here where you put me, right here. And Lydia's like, I'm trying to free you. I think Janine called something along the lines of a dumb bimbo or something like that. And then Aunt Lydia slapped the cowboy shit up out of her. And then apologized like a real abuser would do. Slap you. Oh, I'm sorry. I love you, girl. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Forgive me for everything I've ever done for you. I'm sorry for it all. Janine says, you are the one who stole my daughter. You are the one who took my child right up out my arms. I don't want your fucking apology. If you're going to apologize, bring me my damn daughter. And she was like, well, Angela don't. Her name ain't fucking Angela. It's Charlotte. And thank y'all. Shout out to y'all who told me Charlotte last week episode. I couldn't remember the child name. She's like, her name is Charlotte. Even Commander Joey know her name Charlotte. He even brought me pictures for her. He know this my damn daughter. Bring me my damn daughter. Save all that other shit for somebody else. And she starts screaming, get out! And start pushing on her and shoving her and everything. And I'm like, all this screaming, all this pushing, all this shoving. How come no guardians came in to see what this ruckus is? How come nobody came in? They're on a fucking lockdown. No in, no out. They're on a lockdown. Nick came in and out on a lockdown. Aunt Lydia came in and out on a lockdown. Janine is slapping the shit and pushing the shit out of her damn aunt on a lockdown. And nobody comes in to see what the ruckus is. This is one booty ass lockdown. Okay? She threw Aunt Lydia out the fucking room and then trashed the room. And still, nobody came in to see what the damn ruckus was. Nobody addressed this Jezebel putting her hands on an aunt. A shamed aunt nonetheless, but still an aunt. So Nick, he bold as shit. He takes June to his house so they could do the little deed and wrap up in each other's arms underneath his roses good sheets. That's where they was going to go. And then this is where I made my mistake, y'all. Remember, I have been saying New Bethlehem was in Pennsylvania. There is a New Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, but that is not where New Bethlehem, Gilead is. New Bethlehem, Gilead is actually approximately 1 hour outside of the city limits of Boston. So they are still technically in Boston. So I had to research. I was like, hold up. New Bethlehem, Boston. That's 8 hours and 44 minutes away. I was like, did they forget where they told us these places were located? And I was like, wait a minute. Did they ever say it was in Pennsylvania? Or did I just assume that? I assumed that. That's some more of that 1.23456%. Okay, so I started looking up places, and I was like, well, maybe it's in Martha's Vineyard. No, that's about 3 hours away. Nantucket, that's a little further. That's 3.5 hours away. None of them could be right. So I had to go look it up. I had to do the Google stuff. I was like, okay, where did Commander Lawrence put his New Bethlehem at? And I found some places that said that it's near Boston. And so then I had to research and see what beaches they got in fucking Boston. And there are a few beaches in Boston, but Boston is still 5 hours away from the Canadian border. Montreal, not even Toronto. It's even further from Toronto, and they've always passing back and forth across the Toronto border. So still, this ain't no hop, skip, and the fucking jump to go from Boston to the damn border. Okay, if they went to the Montreal border, that's a 5 hour ride. There should be patrols. Remember, patrols have been beefed up since all the commanders are in town. There should have been patrols and everything, stopping them left and right. But looky, cookie, Wharton, he's still in town. Remember, he was supposed to be taking Rose to D.C. I still ain't figured out why Rose was traveling to D.C. because her home is in New Bethlehem with Nick. She's a married woman now. She's no longer living in D.C. She has no business in D.C. because the wives of Gilead still don't have no freaking role. And since Daddy didn't go with her, why is Rose going to be D.C.? She don't need to go to the damn doctors because they got doctors right there in New Bethlehem. They got doctors right there in Boston. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All that matters is Wharton did not leave with Rose. So now Nick needs to have June stay her ass in the car so he can go scope out the scene and see what's really going on with Wharton. Tells her if he ain't back in 5 minutes, run over to Serena Joy's house. She's like, Serena? Last you knew Nick, her and Serena wasn't friends. Why would you tell her to go to Serena Joy's house? June is like, Serena? Yeah, go on over there to your oppressor's house. Act like y'all good buddies. It's gonna be good. We've been pretending this whole fucking season anyway. But June tucks down in the back seat. Rain pouring down in the sky. Just it's raining cats and fucking dogs, right? And she willing to risk her whole damn life to lie next to this man who wouldn't risk his life to get her damn daughter. I told you I'm gonna keep harping on that. I'm still pissed about that shit though. Nick goes inside, Wharton is heated child. What the heck was you doing down at Jezebel's? He just told Nick not to go there. He just told him that, right? Soon as he take his daughter up to the DC, Nick done ran his butt back over to the brothel. He got a call at the airport about Nick, child. Nick like, about me? Yeah. Wharton sat perched up. Let me see if I can get it. Tension all in his frame. You know, looking like an Italian Don. He was like sitting there like this. The whole time, just looking at her, right? Looking at her like an Italian Don. What were you doing there? He kept talking with his fingers like that. What were you doing there? Okay. Where were you tonight? Nick said, I was on some eye business. Why are you on eye business, Nick? You're not an eye. You a commander. You're not an eye anymore. Wharton is like, where? His words were so sharp. I felt convicted. Nick say, no, downtown. Where downtown? Nick started stuttering and everything. Like, wait, what's this about? Then he said, you been unfaithful to my daughter? Well, duh. Running off every time June calls him. kissing her, holding her, lusting off of her. All of that is being unfaithful to your daughter. Okay, on top of the fact he done brought this wench back to Rose's house so he could lay with her while she's away. Okay, Nick is like, no, I just had a private matter to handle. Warden say, son, ain't nothing private enough to keep from me. What were you doing there? He still had hands like that. Now he still had hands like that. Nick say it's a delicate situation. Wasn't like delicate. Like the visit you paid to the only living witness of the shooting, being the last person to see him alive. That kind of delicate, that's what we're talking about. That kind of delicate, you know. He leaned back. Warden was reading him like a picture book given to a preschooler, baby. He said, that's not a coincidence. I think not. Not a coincidence. He said, I don't know what you gotten yourself into yet. Well, he didn't say yet. He said, I don't know what you gotten yourself into. He wanted to say yet because he wanted to know what's really going on. But baby, the way he slammed his fist down and shook the table, Nick tried to respond. I was like, and whoop. Warden had to gather himself, bring himself back to order. He got up from his seat, moved around to the edge of the desk, sat down and leaned close into Nick. He didn't suck his teeth, but he would have. If I had wrote the story, he'd have sucked his teeth, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, Nick shifted all in the seat like this. Then Warden said, lying to me, it's gonna get your ass hanging on the wall. Gonna have your son left without a father. That ain't what you want. Nick said, no, that ain't what I want. Nick don't give a fuck about his damn son, his unborn child. He don't care about him. He barely care about the damn daughter that he got. His so-called daughter, because I still say that daughter's friends. Anyway, so Warden say, I'm going to ask you one last time. What were you doing there? Fade to black. Well, it had been 5 minutes. I actually forgot about June in the car at this point in time. Nick probably did too. So June hightailed it in the rain down to Serena's house. Now Serena was looking through the window like, who the fuck is that? Am I tripping? Who is that knocking on my door? Right? Do my eyes deceive me? You know, what are you doing here, June? Okay? Dripping on my good flows. What are you doing here? She said she wanted to see if Nick wanted to go to Alaska with her. You trying to tell me that you were safe and sound in Alaska? You crossed all of Alaska to get to Canada, to go through Canada, to cross 5 hours from the border if you went through Montreal, to come ask Nick to move to Atlanta with you? Yeah, I wanted us to be a family. We all family. You know what I'm saying? She wanted them to be a family, right? Serena say, what did he say? It's like she was believing it. He said he was going to stay with Rose, you know. And I needed to show the crown, girl, so I came to you because I trusted you. We friends, right? Me and you, we friends. And I'm thinking, June, if that was true, how did you know that Serena Joy was even there? The last thing you knew, you shoved her off a train in the middle of fucking nowhere. How did you know Serena Joy was in New Bethlehem? And how did you know what house to come to? Who told you this, June? These are the questions that I would have been asking Serena, but you didn't answer stuff. Serena used to be sharper than attack, but right now, she's sitting here believing this lie. She talking about, I'm even grateful you pushed me off the train, June. I knew you was trying to protect me from the mob. That is exactly what she was trying to do, though. Because June was not trying to kill her. You know, she wanted you to live against my better judgment. Well, Serena Joy goes on to judge her, though, and says, I wasn't mad at all. Even though lost my train of thought. Serena Joy, she went on to judge her, right? I was finna say something else. What was I finna say? Even though she don't want to talk, you know. But Serena Joy says, but Nick has responsibilities. He has a wife. He has a baby on the way. What does your husband say about all of this? Kind of selfish, don't you think, June? You're being kind of selfish. Yes, it is being selfish, Serena Joy. She is being selfish. Because even though she really didn't ask Nick this is what she really want. That's what she really want. June had the nerve to get offended. Okay, June is always trying to gaslight the fucking situation, trying to make somebody else feel small in the situation, feel sorry for her, saying, our daughter and our relationship all started because of you. No, June, that fuck ship started because of you. You was flirting with Nick, and then Nick decided to pursue you openly. And when Serena Joy brought up the idea of y'all possibly having a baby together, y'all was really fucking delighted because y'all finally got to fuck. Okay, let's be true. And then y'all continue thereafter. Serena Joy didn't know nothing about that afterwards. Okay, she says, yeah, I had to pay for that affair that you had in prison. That affair, Serena Joy. He was her overseer. Oh, then we go back and forth about whose trauma was bigger and who caused who the most pain, yada yada this, yada yada that. Like we comparing who said, one of their kids who said dad had first. That's what they were trying to say. So anyway, June said, let's not do that. I just need a place to crash tonight, and then Nick can get me back over the border. That's 5 hours away tomorrow. Only he knows that I'm here, which is not true. Commander Joey know that you left with Nick. Okay. But anyway, Serena Joy says, you know what? It's consequences for me harboring a fugitive. I don't want to be doing it. And June says, well, Gilead thinks that I'm still in Alaska. That's not true either. Gilead thinks that you're in Toronto. Remember, y'all left under a false name and false identity when you went to Alaska. Gilead didn't think you were in Alaska. But anyway, why would they think that? Okay? You were supposed to be transferred to Alaska with your freshly released husband. Remember you had one of those? Anyway, June says, you know what? You owe me anyway, so I need your safety. Serena Joy said, it must be God's plan that we're all back together here. It's Destiny Child. Destiny Child, that's cute. Anywho, June says, well, I wish he would stop, okay? Do something different. Well, Serena said, well, since we friends again, girl, I'm getting married. I'm going to be Nick's mother-in-law. Wish you could make it to the wedding, okay? And she like, okay, Mrs. Wharton. Well, he's not like Fred, because she could sense the sarcasm, She said, well, Fred wasn't being Fred in the beginning either, was he? I was like, oh, June, that's rich. That's what I've been saying about Nick. Okay? You keep saying and telling everybody, he's not like them. Is he not? Really? Okay, I can't tell. Serena Joy said, oh, you disapprove? Why you need June's approval? But June say, no, it's not that I disapprove. This is just a surprise to me, girl. I thought you had changed. Now she finna make Serena Joy feel small. Okay, I thought you wanted to be free. But here you are subjugating yourself to another motherfucking man. June, you had the chance to be free. You had the chance to be taken back across that border with Moira. But you subjugated yourself to Nick. Risked your freedom and your fucking life. Damn your child at home. Damn your husband. Damn your child that's still there. Damn your freedom. All for a fuck. That you didn't even get. Okay? Because Commander Wharton was still there. And now you hear chastising Serena Joy like she being stupid and in denial. Girl, twin, where have you been? Y'all two peas in the pot. Two birds of a feather, all of that. You both of that, right? So Serena Joy is like, you may want to watch your tongue if that's what you really feel. If you think that's what I really am about, then you might want to watch your tongue saying it to me. Okay? And who the fuck are you to be even judging me? You here to cheat on your husband and break up a marriage. Facts. Because really, June, that's facts. Okay? Nick didn't say I needed one of y'all to stay. He said, I'm going to get the letters. Okay? He didn't say he needed to get the letters to you. He said, stay. Risk your life for me because I want to see you. And June is like, You got me, girl. Okay, right. Yeah, she do got you. She do. She called a spade a spade. June hate being called on her shit. She always like to deflect and put that shit back on the person that's saying it to her. They got back into this whole back and forth again about forgiveness or lack thereof. And in the end, she told her, I just need a place to stay. And so Serena Joy was like, fine, I'll fix you a room. Okay. So in the morning, surprise, June got a visitor. Not only that, Serena Joy made them breakfast. And if Nick was smart, he would have got June ass out of there before sunlight. Because it's a 5-hour drive to the fucking border. But Rita is there. Serena has planned this whole smorgasbord for them. Rita is fully in, as she had agreed with Nick a couple episodes ago. She's working at the bakery now. Serena Joy got her little job. And Serena Joy was like, you know what? I would like for you to make a cake for the wedding. And June inserts herself. Like, Rita not finna do that, okay? She don't have to do that for you. And Rita tried to say that she could speak for herself, but that was a lie. They spoke around her, about her, in her fucking face, okay? Her words did not matter, and it really never has. It really never has. Rita's like, you always know how to choose the brave thing, okay? But I'm here for my family. I'm not about that life. June tried to get her to join up with Mayday, help Mayday out. She's like, I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna risk, me not being able to be with my family. And June was like, well, I am doing this for Hannah. Girl, shut up. You ain't doing none of what you doing right now for Hannah. This is about you and about Nick. Okay. Now we go back to Commander Joyce, and he is teaching baby Charlotte about chess. Now when Naomi comes in, she's snapping at her. She always snapping at the baby. And Lawrence tells Naomi that anything he teaches his child won't reflect poorly on them soon. And she like, well, what you mean by that? He's like, you'll see. Okay. He think that he about to have the game and run with it. That he finna be the top commander in charge, right? Now, when June said that you about to be the most powerful commander in Gilead, that don't sound to me like June about to turn Gilead down. She's just replacing him with another motherfucker. That's what that sounds like to me. I thought the whole idea was to have the whole place crumble. That's what Janine told Aunt Lydia is supposed to happen. The whole motherfucking place was about to crumble. But he tell her, watch and see, okay? Well, not if Nick has anything to do with it. Because all seeing, all knowing June, he just came over there and asked her to run away with him to Paris, the place that she said she wanted to go. So the map that they have that she need to get back to Mayday, the letters that she need to get back to Mayday, well, none of that shit happened. Because he got their papers, he got their passports already right now for them to go. He says, run away with me, June. Let's go to Paris. Fuck them kids, okay? And June was like, what kids? Let's fucking go. Okay, that's not what she said, but that's what I heard. But he did say, let's run away to Paris. I got our papers, I got our passports, but he couldn't get none of this shit for Hannah. Go off, Nick. He says, I love you, and I know that you love me. Then they kiss, a little sick ass, passionate kiss. She's like, I can't leave anyone. He's like, yes, you can. Your mom could bring Holly. When did Nick ever call that baby Holly? I've always called the baby Holly. Jelly Bean, one of the two. Nick has never called her Holly. June was like, well, what about Rose? He said, fuck Rose and fuck that kid she about to have. Okay, he didn't say that either. Those was my words. He said, I'm no good to them. Hey, June, what about Luke? What about Hannah? She didn't think about none of these things. The only thing she heard was, I love you. It's always been you. Come on, let's go right now. She kissed him deeply once again. He's like, is that a yes? And she's like, you so crazy, yeah. And that was not me. That was her this time. Okay? Then there was a knock on the door. Brought them back to reality. Who is that? Serena could have guests. What The fuck you mean? It was Wharton, okay? Her fiance, okay? June and Nick had to go hide in another room. Now, Nick's car should have been outside. Because why? Either Nick was about to run away to Paris with June and they wasn't going on foot, or he was about to take that 5-hour drive across the border with her. His car should have been there. But Wharton made no mention of his car. Didn't see it at all. Now, from where they were standing, I could see Wharton clear as day. He should have been able to see them too. There wasn't no tint on them damn windows. Wasn't no stained glass distorting the view. Okay? Hell, the door wasn't even locked. As soon as he saw Serena walking to his door, he just walked right on in. So, Serena like, trying to get him out the house. Let's go take little Noah for a walk. And Wharton was like, is he awake? You know, we not supposed to wake a sleeping baby. Well, he was just awake because remember he was waking breakfast, and Serena walked away to give Rita and June some time because she heard Noah wake up. But you know, it's a baby. He probably went back to sleep. You know, everybody got that itis and went back to sleep. But Nick and June, they was tucked behind that door with a clear shot of Wharton through the openings in the panels, right? And she's like, what's up, boo? You know, you seem extra happy today. How you doing? Right? He's like, I am, girl. I am. You got my heart soaring ever since I proposed to you last night, right? And then the thought about us forging a new Gilead together. Guess what? She's like, what? You know that club downtown, the Jezebels, that club of ill repute. Well, we shut that shit down last night. How, Sway? How did you manage that? Well, the resistance was planning to take out everybody there. And they even came close to doing it. But with the help of my son-in-law, Nick Blaine, he foiled the plans. June looked over at Nick behind that door. Like, how could you? How could you? And I'm looking at June like, bitch, how could you? You the one that told him. You had to be the one to tell Nick what was going to happen. That was not your plan to share, okay? You already told Lawrence, which Moore was already like, what the fuck you telling him that for? It was not your plan to share. It probably was your fucking plan all along to make sure that it wouldn't happen. Just to make Luke look bad and throw it in his goddamn face. Throw it in Moore's fucking face, you raggedy heifer. Your mama warned you about Nick, right? But no, you didn't want to listen. I warned you about Nick, and no, all you want to do is give me blank stares into the damn camera. But now you want us to be mad at you mad with you about Nick? That's what you want us to do? You want me to be mad at Nick being exactly who I have said he's been this whole time? No, you should have kept your fucking mouth closed. That's what should have happened. It's your fucking fault, not Nick's, you dumbass. I ain't mad at Nick for telling Wharton. I'm mad at you for telling Nick. Surprise, bitch. Wharton sitting there telling Serena Joy everything. That Nick discovered the plan. Nick told him everything. I didn't think I could trust him, and he just proved his loyalty to me. And at the end of the episode, we got a panned out view. They didn't pan in on her eyes, thank you, Jesus. They panned out. A side view of June in the dirt in the room. And the light just coming through, glowing off of her face. And Nick was no longer there. He was never there for you anyway, June. Okay, never. And just when you thought you was about to risk it all for him, when he couldn't risk it all for you and you needed him the most. He couldn't get your daughter. He can get y'all passports. Couldn't get your daughter out. But you going to be swallowed up in his love and memory and everything. I bet you be kissing Luke's ass when you get back to him. If you get back to him. Rage going to be on 10 now, huh? Rage going to be on 10. Nick is probably gone off to Paris. Some goddamn going probably safe without you. We exit the scene. And there's a song by Lana Del Rey. Blackest Day. Blackest EST. Blackest Day. That was playing as we was exiting the scene. And these particular point of the lyrics probably mean the most to her. It says, I don't really want to break up. We got it going on. Okay? It's what you gathered from my talk. But you was wrong. It's not easy for me to talk about. I have heavy heartstrings. It's not simple. It's trigonometry. It's hard to express. I can't explain. Okay? Ever since my baby went away, it's been the blackest day. Those lyrics make it seem like he left her. Okay? She didn't leave him. He left her. And being that she was the one sitting in that damn room all alone, it's like Nick left her. Like I said, he's probably off to Paris somewhere. Okay? And now, guess what? She's stuck in New Bethlehem. That 5-hour ride back to the border, canceled. Now you're stuck in New Bethlehem. That's the end of the episode, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being patient. Thank you for being here. I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.